Hawangi tarukni panba nomaizing numita laikhidrabagi jarab usab din thoklei malem sinba thungna sandorokliba COVID-19 laikchadasina maram oiraga
Top news headlines. Single-day spike of 37,148 COVID-19 cases, 587 fatalities push India's tally to over 11.55 lakh. Tourism sector in Manipur badly hit by coronavirus pandemic. And heavy rains in northeast in next 3 days, says Indian Meteorological Department. A very good afternoon and welcome to Times of Manipur News today at 1 p.m. This is MASACO giving you the latest news updates. Coronavirus cases in India climbed to over 11.55 lakh as the country registered over 37,000 people tested positive for coronavirus in the past 24 hours beginning yesterday. As per media reports, India registered 37,148 cases and 587 fatalities due to the virus as of today. With the fresh number of coronavirus cases, India's coronavirus caseload has climbed to 11,55,191. Since the first case of coronavirus was reported, 28,084 people have died in the country. The total coronavirus caseload in India includes 4,02,529 active cases and 7,24,578 cured, discharged or migrated according to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Meanwhile, Assam has breached the 25,000 mark in the coronavirus cases with 1,093 fresh cases reported yesterday, with one more person died due to the disease in the state. The state at present has 7,936 active coronavirus patients who are being treated in different hospitals and COVID care centers. Rajasthan also saw 956 fresh cases, taking the infection tally to 30,390. The COVID-19 tally in Odisha crossed the 18,000 mark, with 673 more people testing positive for the disease. Manipur's novel coronavirus case count rose to 1,925 after 14 fresh cases were confirmed in the last 24 hours at the Viral Research and Diagnostic Laboratories VRDLs of Regional Institute of Medical Sciences RIMS Imphal, Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences JNIMS Imphal and District Hospital Thoubal. According to COVID-19 Common Control Room, the new infected patients are from Imphal West, Kamjong and Thoubal districts. The number of active cases in the state now stands at 605, while 1,320 individuals have been cured as of Tuesday. The report also said that in the past 24 hours, 85 patients were discharged from COVID care centers across the state after they tested COVID-19 negative. Thoubal district has registered 5 new cases of COVID-19. The fresh cases were confirmed at Thoubal District Hospital, where 150 samples were tested. Among the new cases, 1 is from Leshangthem and 4 from Lilong. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely affected the tourism sector in Manipur, due to which many of the individuals working in the sector are facing hardships. Tom TV learned that many proactive and well-educated individuals and entrepreneurs in the state have taken a big initiative in improving the tourism sector and finding ways of earning income by setting up beautiful gardens and parks in different parts of Manipur. the Sadhu Chiru waterfall, located around 20 kilometers from Imphal city under Southern Hills district, is one of the attractive tourist spots in the state. It shows the beauty of nature at its best. Unfortunately, since the lockdown was imposed in March this year, people have stopped visiting the spot now, and many of the residents whose income depends on the tourist spot are suffering a lot. On the other hand, alarmed by the rapid surge in COVID-19 cases, residents around the Sadhu Chiru waterfall have appealed to all to stop visiting the spot until the lockdown is lifted.
Maramna akoi waterfall miyam gi oiba posi khoi matam khara khoi thingjabani lockdown se bhai kaiguma hangba matam da khoi su dum hangjagani lockdown leire makhaidi khoi mafam asi khoi hangjagai ai basi miyam gi mafam da ai poginjabani adagi mathakta miyamna su COVID-19 sigi maram asi khangna yumda thokpiganu yaragati miyam gi damak masi phanaba government sinbasi miyam na ngakmina sai bisu miyam da poginjabani.
Konsakul Picnic Spot Committee has informed all to stop visiting the Konsakul picnic spot in view of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic. Through a release, the committee also informed that Konsakul picnic spot has been closed indefinitely to visitors owing to the situation. The seven sister states in Northeast are likely to experience widespread rains in the next 3 to 4 days, the Indian Meteorological Department said today. According to reports, Bihar, West Bengal and Assam will also see heavy rains during the period. Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, UP will continue to experience isolated heavy rains during the next 24 hours. As per sources, after five days of continuous rainfall, the intensity is set to decrease significantly across North India. Assam floods, which have now affected over 24 lakh people till now, resulted in one more death yesterday. Golpara, the worst hit district, has affected 4.59 lakh people, followed by 3.37 lakh in Barpeta and around 3.35 lakh in Morigaon. In Assam, 85 people were killed in flood-related incidents and 26 died due to landslides till now. Himachal Pradesh received widespread rainfall in the past 24 hours, with Dharamshala recording 62 millimeters rain. It's time for a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Downtown University, Jahi Manghan Biganu, Adumgi Ichabu, Jahi Manghan Biganu. Northeast India's most placement-driven university ama oiriba Assam Downtown University ki admission houjare. Pandemic asigi yenglaga online class su September amadagi houjaragani. Engineering, paramedical amadi allied course singda ming chanbining basingna Assam Downtown University admission office Babupara Bosem Imphal lerak talak piduna form lobiyu ming chanbiyu amadi tanabiyu.
Welcome back. Inner line permit ILP will be reactivated from today in all designated offices and police stations across Manipur. According to an order issued by H. Gyan Prakash, Special Secretary, Home, Government of Manipur, the issuance of ILP, which was suspended on March 17th, will be resumed from today. 10 stranded Myanmar nationals studying in Shillong were ferried back to their country via Moreh after proper verification at Integrated Checkpost Moreh today. The Myanmar nationals were handed over to Myanmar authorities at Myanmar Friendship Iron Bridge. Additional Superintendent of Police Moreh, Law and Order Sangboy Gangte, Senior Immigration Officer Y. Krishna Anand, ICP Manager Robin Gangte, SDC Moreh and officials of 43rd Assam Rifles Moreh were present during the event. Finance Secretary of Lilong Haurebi College Students' Union, Mohammad Saddam Khan, today said that the union will lodge a formal complaint against the college principal to the concerned Law, Vigilance or Anti-Corruption Cell for alleged misappropriation of fund and misconduct. He condemned the principal for suspending 3 union members without any prior notice. The union has also demanded a white paper on the college's welfare development program. Saddam Khan threatened that admission process for 2020 to 21 and other related college activities will be banned until the concerned authorities take action against the principal.
2020 da 2,40,644 ki sempham RTGS ki khutang da piram le principal amadi maga wakhalon manaba oja khara ga committee semjin laga RR gi wangbada college da thika tawduna laire haribo oja sing asi Manipur government na chhatra chhatri sida mahi tambina ba thabi rakhibra natraga thika tawna ba thabi rakhibra Dr. A. Surenjit Singh na Quran kiba paisa gi proof and evidence ka loinana union gi khutta laijare masida Manipur government na aten ma matamda meeting changwi dabdi union amadi student singa wakal makha kaya gi khongjang changsin.
The volume 1 and 2 of a book entitled Media in Manipur were released today at the Harakchand Agarwal Memorial Rotary Auditorium located at Mantripukri, Imphal. Intellectual Forum of Northeast, All Manipur Working Journalists Union AMJU and Editors Guild Manipur jointly hosted the book release function. Today's function was attended by Lok Sabha MP Dr. R.K. Ranjan Singh, Director IGNTU, RCM, Dr. N.G. Ngalingam, owner of the Sangai Express, Nishikant Singh Pebam, President of Editors Guild Manipur, Kogendra Komdram, President of AMJU, Bijoy Kakching Tabam, and President of Manipur Hills Journalists Union, Ramkung Pamme, as Presidium members. Lamding Educated Welfare Association, Lewa, Lamding, Kumanthim Laikai, Taubal, today felicitated successful candidates of Class 12 Examination 2020 conducted by Council of Higher Secondary Education Manipur, COSEM. The students from Lamding Kumanthim Laikai were felicitated at the Lewa office. Simple gifts were presented to all the successful students at the event. Lewa also expressed happiness that Sorokaibam Falguni from the same locality scored 444 marks out of the total 500 marks in the Class 12 exam as per a press release from Lewa. As the second wave of flood hit Assam, the Brahmaputra River was flowing above the danger level in Dibrugarh yesterday. According to a media report, the river was flowing at 105.79 meters against the danger mark of 105.70 meters in Dibrugarh, while the forecast was a rising trend in the next 24 hours. Many areas of Dibrugarh were affected in the second wave of flood, which brought miseries for the poor people. Rongmola village under Balijangaon Panchayat, Lezai Kalakua were most affected in the flood. Meanwhile, Dibrugarh Deputy Commissioner Pallav Gopal Jha gave approval to 18 schemes submitted by the Water Resources Department under the SDRF scheme for flood containment and relief measures. Among the schemes are flood and erosion control measures in various areas of Dibrugarh district, including Romoria, Bindakota, Mulukgaon, as well as reconstruction of flood-damaged government buildings, homes, embankments, and PWD roads, the report said. At least 13 people, including 11 Border Security Force BSF Jawans, have tested positive for novel coronavirus in Mizoram in the last 24 hours, taking the state's tally to 297, government sources said today. According to media reports, a statement issued by the State Information and Public Relations Department said that the newly infected patients, all males, were confirmed at the Mizoram Medical College CMC, out of which the 133 samples tested last night. The newly infected patients also included a civilian and an Indian Army who were already admitted at CMC, it said. Reports further said that barring the army personnel who returned from Jammu and Kashmir, all the patients are asymptomatic. There are 129 active cases in the state, while 168 people have already recovered. It's time for another short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Nang na medical tama sa pado, ay siyaw gina nang natahang mala ini. General Nursing and Midwifery GNM 3 years course, 12 pass in arts or science stream in confused to become a part of one of the most respectable professional career of all time. 12 pass and above, duration 3 years, 6 months. BSc in Medical Radiology and Imaging Technology DMRI.
Ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, X-ray.
BSc in Medical Laboratory Technology.
BSc in Operation Theatre Technology.
Competitive Success Academy की Class 11 अमदी 12 Science की Admission हौजरी पिजरिब खुदोंचाबसिंग अदुदी जून था फाउबदा एडमिशन तौबिरकपा Class 11 Science की अहानब महिरोई यांखई की एडमिशन फी चाद यांखई ताजगनी बोसेम न लौबा एग्जाम दा चाद मरिफु अमदी CBSE न लौबा एग्जाम दा चाद मरिफु तरागी मथक्ता फंगबा महिरोई सिंगी ओइना एडमिशन अमदी ट्यूशन फी लौजरोई अमसुंग स्कॉलरशिप पिजगनी चाद हुंफुदगी हुंफुतरा मंगा फाव फंगबा महिरोई सिंगी एडमिशन तंखाई तमक लौजगनी अमदी लाइरिक लेमना फंगहंजगनी क्लास 12 ता मिंग चन्नबगी दमक अतोपा बोर्ड तगे क्लास 11 पास तौरबा मतुंग एलिजिबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट पाइरबा महिरोई सिंगदा मिंग चन्नबगी खुदोंग चाबा पिजरी अकुप्पा मरोल गिदमक कांटेक्ट तौबिरौ कॉम्पिटिटिव सक्सेस एकेडमी उरिपोक खोसनाम लेकाई इम्फाल Contact number 6909199961 natraga 89747 natraga 9436288300 natraga 700-589-2311.
Welcome back. With no end in sight for the Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot slugfest in Rajasthan, the Chief Minister's camp will hold a legislative party meeting at Hotel Fairmont in Jaipur, where they have been staying. This comes as the Rajasthan High Court resumes hearing in the petition filed by now-sacked Deputy Chief Minister Pilot, who is leading a group of 18 dissident MLAs. According to media reports, the Pilot camp has challenged the disqualification notices sent by the Speaker, maintaining that voicing dissent does not amount to defection. Meanwhile, Gehlot's public outburst against Pilot yesterday has virtually dashed hopes of reconciliation with the rebel leader. Congress indicated that Pilot has been in touch with the leadership and efforts were continuing to pacify him and get him back to the party fold. However, some party leaders feel that Gehlot calling Pilot names and going public against him in the media has dealt a huge setback to the party's efforts at reapproachment. Senior party functionaries said the leadership does not approve of adverse remarks against anyone, including political rivals, and has issued an advisory to leaders to avoid personal comments. The next phase of clinical trials of the experimental vaccine being developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca against the coronavirus disease will see if the immune response has been in the early stages protects against COVID-19. As per trial results published in the Lancet Medical Journal, the vaccine called AZD1222 was developed by Oxford University's Jenner Institute and licensed to multinational pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca. According to the trial results, the COVID-19 vaccine prompted no serious side effects and elicited antibody and T-cell immune responses, with the strongest response seen in people who received 2 doses. As per media reports, late-stage trials are underway in Brazil and South Africa and are due to start in the United States, where prevalence is higher. The project has started phase 3 of the human trials to assess how the vaccine works in large number of people over the age of 18 and how well the vaccine works to prevent people from becoming infected and unwell with COVID-19, sources said. The sharp rise in coronavirus cases in the country is clear proof that the virus has spread to most parts, but data from private labs show the virus may not be as lethal as was feared earlier. According to media reports, many people have recovered from the virus in India without showing any signs or major symptoms. Antibody tests conducted by private labs in the country show that nearly 20 to 30% of the people that were tested had antibodies against the novel coronavirus. It is worth mentioning that antibody tests are conducted to find out whether a person had been infected earlier. It helps in determining the spread and intensity of a disease in a particular area. Arokaiswamy Velumani, the founder of Mumbai-based laboratory chain Thyrocare, said that deaths per million in India is very low and that there is data to support the fact that many Indians have developed immunity against COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. Thyrocare has so far tested 65,000 samples across the country using a number of antibody kits. Their data showed that 15% of all those tested had exposure to the novel coronavirus. Advisors to President Donald Trump and congressional Democrats were set to discuss the next steps in responding to the coronavirus crisis today, the congressional Republicans saying they were working on a $1 trillion relief bill. According to a media report, in a meeting that took place at the White House yesterday, Republican lawmakers and administration officials said they were making a progress towards fresh legislation aimed at cushioning the heavy economic toll of the pandemic. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will host a meeting today to discuss coronavirus relief with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, the report said. The center has written to all states and union territories warning against the use of N95 masks with valved respirators by people, saying these do not prevent the virus from spreading out and are detrimental to the measures adopted for its containment. The Director General of Health Services, DGHS, and Ministry of Health, in a letter to the Principal Secretaries of Health and Medical Education of states, said it has been observed that there is inappropriate use of N95 masks, particularly those with valved respirators, by the public other than designated health workers. The DGHS referred to the advisory on the use of homemade protective cover for face and mouth available on the website of the Ministry of Health. And now let's take a look at the local newspaper headlines.
The Shanghai Express. Drug seizure case from Lukozai Zoo urged senior state BJP leaders. RIMS attendant, 13 others test positive. India's tally crosses 11 mark with over 40,000 new cases. The People's Chronicle. 31 new cases detected, local transmission touches 100 mark. 17 Assam Rifles men of Ziribam post infected, state ranked 17 in infection rate with 620 cases per million population. Indo-Naga truce not state-bound, says Ansam. RIMS OPD closed amid fear of community spread. Imphal Free Press. 1 GRS PRI representatives test COVID-19 positive. Government orders closure of banks, post offices for public. Ojoy challenges Chief Minister Biren for open debate. RIMS attendant test COVID-19 positive, general OPD services suspended. 5 arrested for alleged forgery in PM Kisan scheme. Manipur Mail. Noni, Fairzol, Technopol record 100% recovery. Radheshyam meets heads of NCTE UGC. IIM Shillong holds e-symposium on handloom. Congress demands resignation of Chief Minister Biren Singh.
Before we wrap up the top news headlines once again. Single-day spike of 37,148 COVID-19 cases, 587 fatalities push India's tally to over 11.55 lakh. Tourism sector in Manipur badly hit by coronavirus pandemic. and heavy rains in northeast in next 3 days, says Indian Meteorological Department. That's all for the news today at 1 p.m. Thank you for watching.
Red Shopper. Get local.